Welcome back. This time we are looking at orderly. We're going to run through what is happening right now on the 3 hour, and then we'll move on to the daily to see the bigger time frame. So in terms of, it's a relatively new coin, launched in September, and as always, want to draw some obvious technical analysis lines here just to kind of orientate ourselves along price action lines. So these are my lines that I would want to be marking out the chart just to see where we are and where price has reacted. So I've just quickly highlighted these obvious points. You can see that I'm doing this quite roughly. I'm not actually very precise with this, but there's a purpose for that, because price, although it does interact at certain points, it's more interested in zones where price could actually dip a little bit below or not go to that price point exactly. So I just want to highlight loosely where the turning points are in the chart. Let's switch on EngineeringRobo AI. And what I'll do first, because there's a bit much, we'll go through it all bit by bit. So let's start off with the dashboard first, in the sense that this dashboard is telling us quite a number of information. AI social intelligence score. So this is sentiment across social media sites in terms of how much chat is happening around this coin. It's -3. We really want to be seeing that as a green. At the moment, it's red, which is why it's negative, and then you've got a -3 score. The maximum negative score you can get is a red 5, and if you flip that on the reverse, then you would get that as a green 5. So at the moment, sentiment, chatter across the socials isn't looking good on this. It's bullish on the daily, and on the 3 hour, it's actually quite neutral. Smart money is in, so that's quite good to see. But volume on this is quite low, and that's something to be quite conscious about. So the correlation to Bitcoin is 1-on-1. So whatever Bitcoin's going to do, this is going to amplify that because it's an altcoin. So we just want to be keeping our eyes on that. There's low volatility at the moment, which is probably not good for right now in terms of getting into this coin at the moment, but it's certainly one to be looking at. On the daily, it's bullish. We'll come back to the daily in a moment. So I just wanted to start off with the dashboard because this shows the power of this indicator, the social intelligence score, the fact that smart money is in. It even shows us where RSI is at the moment. It's neutral. So it's not ultimately bearish, but for the better price entry, we want it around the 20% zone. Multi-time frame is neutral, so it's not really potentially the best time to buy. We're not buying it on momentum, and the volume is low. So something definitely to be tracking. This is a concern for me. There's not much chatter, so it could drop a little bit further before actually turning around. When I mean further, we're looking at another 10%. So I think the 20 cents area is probably a better price point. Okay, let's continue with this time frame, and I would like to now switch on some of the flags that you saw or indicators in terms of buy and sell signals. So you can see, let me take that, I'll switch that on. You can see that EngineeringRobo gave us a sell signal at the 25 and 70 cents mark. So that, if you took the trade at that time, it went as low as 12%. Currently, it's in at 6.3%. The early warning was a buy entry and then taking profit before then turning into a sell signal there. The other thing I like regarding this indicator is the support and resistance zones. So these are secondary confirmation signals just to kind of orientate ourselves on what price action is doing based on a number of different technical analysis. So I'm going to get rid of my yellow lines and just rely on the AI indicator lines. So I'll draw them out as well. So this price point, which we've already mentioned, around the 22 to 20 cents, is something that we want to be looking at. If it holds here, then yes, consider buying, but then at the same time, we'll be looking for an AI buy signal. We've had one here, so price could come as low as the 20 cents. Essentially, what we're doing is looking at these levels here. So right now it's at a resistance, it's at a resistance. This first level is probably too soon, and I would like to see it around the 19 cents mark. Let's now move over to the daily so that we can see what's happening on the bigger time frame, and I'll just quickly summarize what the indicator is telling us in terms of where we are. So on a bigger time scale, we are bullish in terms of a positive 4 score for this. So there is chatter. It's not quite time to actually leave or get out of this trade, but we can see that price has run into resistance a number of times, which is quite concerning. So at the moment, we're still currently bullish. On the daily, it's bullish, but on the weekly and 3 hour, it's kind of neutral. So is now the best time to get in? I would say keep watching where these indicators are telling us. So even though the RSI and the MACD is built into this indicator, having them separately just gives us a visual to see, okay, where and how low could this actually go. Price is already at this price point. If a few more bars are printed on the MACD and the stochastic RSI continues going lower, we could actually see that 20 cent or even the 17 cent area. So that's a quick update on orderly. I will post either a community post or an update video in some time.